In this tutorial, let's see how to enter sales. I would recommend you to watch all tutorials on purchases module before you start learning the sales module, because the concepts are very close and related to each other. The only difference is we use the word purchases in purchase module, we use the word sales in sales module, but they are mirror imaging to each other. Okay, here I'm starting with sales and clicking this enter sales. Now this should be a familiar screen to you. The only difference is here it says sales new service. Okay, now I'm clicking the drop down arrow here, exactly like in purchase module we have 3 items, but let's call this as a sales quote, sales order and sales invoice. Now sales quote can be used multiple times, either to create a sales order or a sales invoice. But whereas sales order, once created and once it pushed into invoice mode, the sales order disappears. Okay, so listen carefully. Sales quote can be used multiple number of times. Sales order cannot be used multiple times. Sales orders, next stage would be sales invoice and payment of that invoice, and that's it. Okay, so you need to understand that very thoroughly. Pause this video, go back and listen to what I said to gain more understanding. Okay, in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to enter a sales invoice directly. Okay, so exactly the same. I select invoice and I select this drop down arrow and say A to Z stationery supplies. That's my sales, that's my customer listing. So I'm double clicking this. So here is a look and feel of the screen. I have sales invoice number, which is the sales invoice number, which is auto generated, or you can insert the numbers in, the date of the sales invoice, and purchase order number, which is the customer's purchase order number. Okay, when the customers send you a purchase order, that becomes your sales order and you will convert that to a sales invoice. Okay, so this is the customer's purchase order number. So when you're sending the sales invoice, the person who's receiving it has got some reference from his company to see what he's getting. Okay, right. In this example, let's say I'm selling, say, some pens, and then this is my sales income. Says sales stands. Yep, let's say sales stands, and I'm saying stands here. And then I'm putting an amount, say $110, which is inclusive of GST. Please pay more attention here. This is inclusive of GST. What it means is this amount is the total amount I'm getting into my bank account. Okay, $110 is the total money I'm going to get in my bank account, whereas $100 would be my sales and $10 would be GST collected. Okay, sometimes it's very common that you want to see the net amount here. Okay, and you want to add 10% on top of it. In that case, what you do is you untick this and say $100 here. Okay, now notice carefully what's happening. So $10 is the sales amount. Sorry, $100 is the sales amount. $10 is the GST collected, and total amount into your bank account would be $110, and the tick is unticked. But my recommendation is always leave the tick on and put the total number here, total amount received, to be received in your bank account. Okay, right, $110, that is the money you would be getting into your bank account. Within that, $100 would be your income, $10 would be GST. Okay, so here you have a GST item. If it is not reportable or FRE, again, get your accountant's advice which sales income is NT and which sales income is FRE, and you can use the relevant codes for you to change. If you want to change it to free, just double click FRE from here or leave it as GST. Okay, So that is how the look and feel of the invoice would be, and say record. So that's how you enter a sales invoice.